All right, so I have just seen The Long Walk. I really thought that this is gonna be like one of my favorite movies of the year. I don't know why I thought that. I just, you know what it is because in my mind when I saw the trailer, I said, oh, it kind of gave me a Hunger Games vibe, and then also because Stephen King or Stephen King, I just thought, okay, this is gonna be good. Maybe the book is really good. Maybe the book is really good, but this is the worst movie experience I think I've had. And um I really wanted to like this movie so much. I really did. Um I mean, if I had to, I'm not burying any leads. If I really had to give this out of 5 stars, I give it a 1 out of 5. 1 out of 5 for sure. For my experience in the theater. 1 out of 5. And you know what it is? One, because predictable. And two, I should have probably never watched any of the trailers. What I would say is if you've seen the trailer, you've seen the movie. If you've seen the trailer, you've seen the movie. So you've seen it. You could do a review too. If you've seen the trailer, just go do a movie review. You've seen the movie. Except for maybe like the last 7 minutes. Um and that's part of the reason why I don't watch a lot of trailers. So that's on me. I know for a fact if I didn't see the trailer, I probably would have given this movie maybe like a 2 out of 5, maybe 2.5, maybe 3 out of 5, maybe. But I don't even think so. I think like first of all right, all right. So I'm just passionate. This movie is they could have did so much more with this long walk. What I would say is the first of all the way they ended it too. I don't even mind the ending. It's just that this movie it felt like it didn't. I like movies that kind of feel more like a full meal. Like you watch the movie and you feel like, oh, that tied up good. That was. This was like it was like gum. Then you chewed some gum and then it lost the flavor and you like spit it out. You're like, oh, that gum wasn't that good. That's kind of how I felt. Like it had you for a second and then the the premise is really all this movie has. Like I said, maybe the book is better, but the premise is all this film has. After the premise is nothing. Like I wish I cared more about the characters. I think that most of the film is just them walking. I understand that's a film, but there's so much more they could have done. First of all, they're saying this whole thing is televised. They have tanks in front of them with TVs on them. Maybe they could have showed different perspectives. Show perspective from maybe someone sitting down at the dinner table and they're watching the TV. Show how the thing is broadcast throughout the state. There's so much things they could have did to make it more interesting, kind of like how Hunger Games does. But they just they just keep you just one spot. Um, uh, it's crazy. I really thought I was gonna love this movie. I wanted to love it. Um, yeah, so they could have did so much more. Like instead of just keeping the camera just for walking, and then there's I'm not spoiling anything in my review, but there's a part where like a lot of people are getting taken out, and when they're doing that, they don't really show why. Like they show them going on an incline. They show there's a point where there's like a part where there's an incline. That's all I'm gonna say. There's an incline. During that part of the film, there's people being taken out, and they're not really clear with how this is going because it seems like people are getting taken out and they're still walking and they're still moving. You know what I mean? So they should have been more clear. And then at that part, they already introduced us to a lot of different characters, but they're not showing us who's getting taken out at that point until after in the daytime, and it's like that's the time where you could use to build more of these character arcs and show like these kind of three musketeers, like show like the crew at that point, not just the two people. And that's where it goes back to a bit of the trailer too. The trailer gave away so much key moments that 85% of the movie I'm just watching it like, oh, I know what's gonna happen. I know they're not gonna be there because you showed like only 5 people left in the trailer. So while I'm watching the film, I know none of those people are making it. Like there's no question. So, but that's on me. If I know I'm gonna like a movie, I should never watch the trailer. I know if I didn't watch the trailer, I probably would give this like at least 3 out of 5. I feel like I would have. I feel like I really would have. Maybe 2 out of 5. And the reason I say that I really did that 1 out of 5 for me is because when it ends, it doesn't have to end perfectly. I understand the movie's over, go home, but could have gave us a little bit of an aftermath. Like what happens at the end happens. The movie just ends. It's like they know it's a movie when it ends, and then whatever happens, whatever character ends up walking away, it's like they know it's a movie. Like, okay, walking away, movie ends. Like, there's no aftermath. If something like that happens, show us the state of that world, the state of that world. If something big like that happens, at least tell us what's gonna happen because of that big thing that happened. That's gonna be something drastic for their way of life. You know, show it. Like, show reactions of characters watching this big TV that you say we're watching this broadcast, but you never even see it. You see people like on the side of the street watching it, like no one has TVs, but you're saying this thing's broadcast throughout the world. Like, show us the state. You know, like, there's so much stuff they could have did to bring us more into this world and these characters. I was just like, such a missed opportunity. But I don't want to make this movie review longer than it has to be. But I don't know. I just feel like I gotta air out a little bit more. All the actors were great. Actors were amazing. I think that there's so much ideas that they put in your head about this world by telling you, and I think that's cool. But you know, there's a saying, show don't tell. There's a lot of telling, and it's like, you could show us, I know they want to show us the long walk, but imagine if you're watching the Hunger Games and it starts with them in the actual Hunger Games. You don't know anything about Katniss, and then you're going through and then you're trying to figure out why should you care about Katniss. You know what I mean? Like, with this, it's kind of like, you said, I'm not spoiling anything, but the point is, I wanted to care about these characters, but I couldn't care about anyone. Like, I didn't know any of them. You know, I really didn't know any of them. They tell you stuff because they only could tell you stuff during the war. But I'm not a big fan of flashbacks, but this would have been a film that would have been perfect for a few key flashbacks to maybe kind of help humanize the characters a little bit, show us a little bit where they're coming from. And Mark Hamill, the Major. Mark Hamill was good, but the thing is, that character, he's not in the film that much. He doesn't have to be, but I think it would have helped. I think it would have helped if you've seen him talking to his sergeants while these people are walking, and he's talking to his sergeants about, oh, maybe some of his sergeants making bets like, oh, who do you think's gonna bite the dust first? Like, stuff you could do that kind of like, so you could see, like I said, just different perspectives would have definitely helped this film a lot. It just didn't do what I thought it was gonna do. 1 out of 5. And I thought I was gonna love it. My next review I'm gonna do right after this is Splitsville. I'm only telling you guys this because you might not watch that review, but this movie was such a disappointment. I'm gonna tell you right now, when I saw Splitsville, it was amazing. One of my favorites of the year. I know I shouldn't be saying that in this review, but I want to because Splitsville was amazing. If you want, go see Splitsville. It's a great comedy drama. And I'm gonna do that review right after this. And I'll be putting them both out tonight because I need to wash my mouth from this long walk. And I'm glad I did, because right after I went to see Splitsville, and I was supposed to see Splitsville first, and the long walk I thought was gonna be amazing. I was gonna go home like, yeah, but everyone has a different opinion. Hopefully you guys like it, but check out Splitsville if you want to watch a really great comedy drama. There's romance in it too, but it's very more of a comedy. You'll love it. I think you'll check it. Even if you don't love it, there's gonna be so much ideas and so much things it's just great. So check out Splitsville. The long walk, I had a long day. That's how I feel. It's Dejo Notre Dame. Take care, spread love and light, and let's sign off with a walking away.